thank you for joining me for today's class. We're going to be needing a Pilates ball. If you don't have one, you can just grab yourself a little hand towel, roll it up so that it kind of resembles something of an elevation so that we can get it into the shoulder blades or under the hips to give ourselves that little bit of rise. So we're going to start straight away. We're going to lie down. You're going to have that ball between the shoulder blades, actually a little bit lower than the shoulder blades. You want to have your head comfortably on the ground and then adjust the ball so you get it just into a position where it's pressing in between the shoulders. So I'm going to have my knees bent. Feel free to extend the legs if you feel comfortable enough to. It does put a little bit more strain onto the back, so bending them will definitely alleviate that pain if you have it there. And then we're just going to take a little extension in the arms overhead and pulling down. Get those elbows all the way in. And we want to try and keep those arms as close to the ground as possible to really open up the chest. So depending on how tight you are, you might feel into the front of the pec here, or even deep into the armpit, you might feel a nice stretch. You must have your head supported. So if you cannot physically reach over the ball without your head on the ground, then you can just grab a cushion or a towel, roll it up, just place it underneath the head so that you are properly rested. Good. 2 more. And last one. All the way pulling down. We're going to extend those arms at your sides. We're going to take one arm overhead and then we're going to swap through the center and open. So you can feel when your arms are off the ground, the body does tend to wobble a little bit. So you just want to make sure that your abdominals are firing to keep you stable, just to protect you from falling off. Reach those arms in opposite directions. Reach. Feel as if I'm pulling you at the wrist and really lengthening up. Don't worry so much about posture and how pretty it looks. Get that shoulder up into the ear. We want to get all the way into those joints. Last one. All the way to the top. We're going to go in for a full circle. We're going to inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, round. Keep them touching the ground. And again, inhale over. And full circle. Reaching. This can also be done with a roller. The only thing is the roller tends to be pretty hard. So if you are feeling very tight, it might be more uncomfortable than anything else, but still really good for you to get into that and do that little myofascial release. 2 more. And last one, all the way. Circle. Good, arms up. We're going to take the reverse. We're going to inhale the arms down. Reverse the circle. We're just going to do 4 of these. Reaching up and over. Three. And last one. 4. We're going to open those arms out to the sides. You're going to take a little gentle shift in the hips or the knees over and then back to the center. Press the hands into the floor to help stabilize. Try not to leave the ball with that opposite shoulder. So you want to keep the connection of the ball and the shoulder. Good. 1 more each side. Reaching. Good. Now what we're going to do is you're going to take the one arm, readjust on the wall if you need to. You're going to take the one arm and you're going to reach it to the opposite arm and open up. Same side. Reach. Let the body move on the ball and back to the center. Good. 2 more. It's a really nice one because you are supported in the shoulder blades, but you're still getting that length all the way. Good, straight to the other side. And we go, reach. Whoa. Okay, so I'm feeling very stuck in the side. I can feel I have a lot less range. So if you do feel that is you, maybe just do a couple of extra on the stuck side. And last one, reach. Good, and then you're just going to take those arms to 90 degrees. You're going to bend them, press them into the floor, and then lengthen one leg down, and then the other, if you feel comfortable here. If you don't, bend the knees and keep them there, and you're just going to take a few breaths. So deep inhale. On that exhale, sink those shoulders down. And again, in. I know sometimes we just want to go, 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 but it's very important to just find that stillness in the movement and truly listen to what the body is feeling. Last one. Good. Pulling the legs back up one at a time. Lower the arms, chin to chest, slowly coming up. You're going to just grab. So with the ball in the same position, hands behind the head, interlink the fingers, support the base of the neck. You're going to pull the chin to the chest gently and try and connect the elbows in front of you. And then you're going to exhale, release over the ball. And again, inhale, close. And exhale over. If you do have a towel, you might not feel as much movement happening. So the ball really allows us to kind of move as high up as we can, but still important movement. So whether you have the ball or not, I want you to try and get up as much as you can. Gentle on the neck. Last one. Good. You're going to open up, and now we're going to just do a little drop of the elbow. Feeling very unstable. It's just a little oblique twist, drop of the elbow. The key is to try and keep the hips still, but mine are not doing it. So I can't blame you if yours don't. Just really try and stabilize into the abdominals. And one more each side. It's almost like a little oblique, twisty crunch thing. Back to the center, all the way over. Open those arms out again, all the way to your sides, chin to chest, rolling up off the ball. Good. Before we get with the ball underneath the back, we're going to go onto the hands and knees and just see how much movement we've allowed ourselves. So you're going to take your hand behind the head, you're going to lower your elbow down, and on that exhale, you're going to open up off that supporting arm and reach that top elbow open. Extend the arm, increase that rotation, bend it back in and lower it back down. And again, reaching and extend, back in, down, and up, open. Last one. I know the stretching doesn't always feel as important as it is, but without this, we won't be able to work the muscles efficiently other side. So please, if you feel you do not stretch enough, this is your thing. I'm telling you, please add it in at least once a week minimum to your routine. Sorry, I'm trying to breathe. I can't talk and breathe and concentrate at the same time. Good. And last two. Reach, open. And last one. Take advantage of that opening chest. Lower it, back it down. And rest. Just going to push yourself into a child's pose, rounding into that lower back, reaching the arms forward. Deep inhale and exhale. You're going to come up onto your knees. You're going to step the arms forward. So it's like a lengthened downward dog. You are up 90-degree angles with the hips, and you're just gently sinking down into the shoulders. Turn your head to the one side if you feel you need to. Take a deep inhale and exhale, and again in and out. Turn your head to the other side. In, out. Last one, in and out. Slowly back to the center, pulling those arms up. You're going to now get back down onto the floor. You're going to take the ball and you're going to put it underneath the hips. So, okay, under the hips, you're going to lengthen the one leg. The other leg you're going to pull in gently. So just take your time setting yourself up. You don't want to fall all over the place. So find that posture, lengthening this top hip or hip flexor along, and then pulling that opposite knee into your chest. Deep inhale and exhale. We're going to gently take this knee and a small little crossover. You can actually even put your elbow onto the floor and just gently let that knee fall into the hand. And back to the center. And again, crossing that knee over. The hips will move on the ball. Good. And then we're going to take that knee, lengthen it along the floor, other side, pull in. Pull that knee into the center. Lengthening that opposite hip flexor away from you. Good. Placing that elbow up onto the ground and just letting that knee rotate inwards and back to the center. And one more. Rotate in, back to the center. We're going to place both legs down onto the floor. You want to get the ball underneath the hips, and you're just gently going to shift the hips from side to side, mobilizing into that lower back and into the back of the pelvis. So all those little muscles that are along the back, push into the ball, shifting from side to side. Good. Through to the center. We're going to do small little circular motions. One side does feel weird compared to the other. Good. Small little movement. And change direction. All the way around. Obviously with the towel this will be a little bit different. And to the center. Find that center line. And then we're just going to hold it here. So you're just going to have the feet parallel, anchor the feet into the ground, and then just slowly open those knees out. Okay, so find that posture. You can bring the feet a little bit closer if you do have a wider range. And you're just going to find that posture. Take a deep breath. Let the hips sink over the ball, but I don't want you to feel it in your lower back. So if you're feeling an impingement in the lower back, don't let it go as much. So lift up into the pelvic floor a little bit more and into the pelvis. If you don't feel any pain, just let that pelvis drop forward over the ball. We are in quite a big hyperextension in the lower back, but because it's supported, it can feel quite nice and almost relieves a little bit of pressure. Take a deep inhale and out, and again in and out, and last one, in and out. Rest there. Good. Slowly pulling the legs back to the parallel. We're going to just gently roll so that your legs are up and your lower back is pressed into the ball. Pull the knees in, take all the pressure off that lower back. Just hug your knees into your chest gently. Take a deep inhale and out. 2 more breaths in and out. Last one. And out. You're going to place the feet back onto the floor. You're going to lift up the hips, take the ball out, and we're just going to do one little rotation into the hips. So you're going to extend the leg, one leg out, opposite knee is gently going to cross over, lengthening that top hip away from you. Gently to the floor. You can use this arm for very, very mild pressure to pull the leg down if you need it. Don't force the stretch at all. Try get that opposite shoulder to stay on the ground so that we really get a nice stretch from the armpit all along the back to that opposite hip. And one more breath. Gently pulling it back to the center. We swap sides. So crossing that leg over, opposite shoulder to the floor. Breathe in. And again. Last one. Lengthening that hip away from you. Gently pull back to the center. Hugging the knees into your chest. All the way in. And then opening the knees, pulling them into your armpits, and again pulling the knees into the chest. And then back to the center, in. Squeeze into the body. Squeeze the back into the floor. One more. And last one, open. And back to the center. And you're just going to end with a lengthen. So extending those legs out. Try and get them as equal as possible, as aligned as possible. Just completely let the feet flop open. Hips are pressed down into the floor. Arms are at your sides. Now turn the feet parallel. You can flex the feet or point them, whatever's comfortable. Try and get into the best alignment that you can. So from the top of your head all the way to your heels, lengthening through. Reach those arms away from you. We're going to go through all the checkpoints. So the base of the head is pressing down into the ground. Shoulders are lengthening away from you. Opening up the chest, so round the shoulder blades into the floor. Extend those arms. Feel connection in the abdominals. Hips are in alignment, so you aren't sinking or pressing one down more than the other. And then legs equally lengthened away. We're going to take a deep inhale. And out. 2 more breaths in. And out. Last one. In. And on that exhale, completely relax the body. Let the shoulders creep up. Let the legs flop open. Just go to where you feel 100% released. Take a few just normal breaths. And rest there. Good. Thank you so much for joining me for the class. It's always good to focus on, like I said earlier, that release and the mobility into the body, especially the open back, the upper back and the lower back, from our just day-to-day lives of being hunched over, whether it's a phone or a laptop or you're busy with your kids. It's just really important to open up that chest, create mobility into the shoulders so that when you are training, when you're doing your weights, when you're doing your Pilates class, you get the most out of that movement and that full activation from insertion point to insertion point. So please don't skimp on the release classes and the stretch classes. They are so vital for a well-rounded workout routine and really just to get your body to work optimally. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon.